This meeting to order. So, do we have any comments from the public? No. Do we have any acts or do we have any requests for adjustments or relief? Okay, thank you. Consent agenda. I'm gonna split out item 4, which is review of the minutes, since I wasn't here. Do you have any edits, corrections, comments about the minutes?
I didn't say anything.
Okay, then would you like to?
I move, we approve the minutes as submitted.
We got a motion. We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We got 3 ayes and 1 abstain. So we'll do items 5 through 8, the rest of the consent agenda together. Questions, comments about financial reports, tax collector report, anything else? Item 7 or 8? Okay, make a motion, we accept items 5 through 8 on the consent agenda.
So move.
That'd be a second.
Second.
Got a second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Got 4 ayes and the ayes have it. Thank you. Brings us to the regular agenda, item 9, consider and act upon a resolution casting the district's vote in the MCAD Board of Directors election for term 24 and 25.
Election we do every 2 years, I'm sorry. Arthur Bruder Hoff represents the special districts and he's on the ballot again. You all get 4 votes. It's for, if you split your votes or give your votes to somebody else, they go to Arthur anyway.
Sounds like that's rigged.
A little convoluted.
Okay, well, with that being said, would anybody like to propose or make a motion that we vote for Arthur Breedehoff for the MCAD Board of Directors?
All 4 votes. So moved.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
You filled it.
There's a resolution up there.
There is.
I have it.
We just
Check the box.
Okay.
No blank ballot.
Okay, this is all being recorded, by the way. So, got that going for us. Item 10, consider an act on updated policy RNS 12 rates for water services and RNS 13 for sewer service.
Yes, so, at RNS 12 and RNS 13 are the policy documents that spell out your water and sewer rates, which you approved last month.
Okay.
So this is just, changing the policy officially in the paperwork to identify the change in the rates itself. There's been no change since, you approved them last month. This is just getting these 2 documents up to reflect the changes that.
So that's what's on pages 20
Which one?
23. Okay, so this is kind of a formality. You got the information in front of you, pages 20 through 23. Questions, comments on rates that we're setting? Officially putting in policy.
That's the vote we took last
Correct.
month,
That's correct.
so.
Okay.
You need a motion?
Yes, sir.
I'll make the motion, we approve these.
Thank you, Brad. I'll second it. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 11, discuss matters related to director's election. Be called for May 4th, 2024. That's
I can
Katie.
discuss this one. Yep, just as a reminder, my name's Katie Blasio. Brian apologizes. He couldn't be here today. He was at a fundraising event. But next year is an even numbered year, so there's going to be a director's election on May 4th. You're required as the district to post a notice of candidate filing period. That period is from mid-January to mid-February. So you have to post the notice of that in advance. I believe it's the regular posting requirements. It's not in the newspaper or anything like that. It's similar to how we post the agendas. So we are just looking for authorization, for us and Woodlands Water to get that posted in accordance, with the laws, prior to the deadline. And I also just wanted to note, it looks like Stephanie and Dawn, will be up for election next year, and we'll make sure that we get you, the packets that you need to apply to be a director again. I think it'll probably be around the January board meeting that we'll be getting this ready.
Thanks.
Good.
Are we working with the county again, in the election, or are we going
We're
to?
gonna have more information about that. We don't know yet. Montgomery County is offering, joint elections this year. So if you want to go joint, that is an option, but we don't have a recommendation or costs, yet at this point.
So is there any action required?
Yes, if you could just, motion to grant us authorization to post the notice.
Okay, so we need a motion to grant authorization to post this notice for the candidate filing period.
So move.
We got a motion. Anybody want to second it? We got a second from Brad. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye.
What was the date again of the May what?
It's gonna be on May.
Brett, were you an aye or you abstain?
No,
Okay.
no,
Okay.
I did have a follow-up question, just a feedback. I mean, it's nice to have something, if we've got to take a vote. It's nice to have something in writing that we know what we're doing. So in the future, I mean, we did a verbal vote on, we grant you, but we really don't know what we granted.
Oh, it says in item 11, authorization to post notice regarding candidate filing.
Okay, you think that's sufficient? I mean, we don't see a draft of it or anything. We don't see.
There isn't a draft notice that's ready yet. So
Okay.
we'll post that prior to the deadline, but I don't have a notice that's ready quite yet. We have a partner who handles the election stuff in our office. It's just putting the notices.
I assume it's pretty boilerplate language, this is how you lay it out and this is what it needs to say and you just fill in the names.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Okay. Anything else on that? Item 12, receive monthly SJRA Woodlands Provision Report. Operations, projects, public outreach, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes, sir. And our operations report is in your packet. For every 18 months. 2 points I wanted me to make is one, December 4th is the all-mud meeting that we'll be hosting at our facilities on Sawdust. I encourage everyone to come out. I believe it's going to be going over more of the financial aspect of the projects. And number 2, on page 31, you'll see there's a one-pager about the wastewater scan project. We've been involved in for several months. We've approached by Stanford University and some other independent labs, and they're trying to improve the methods for scanning COVID and other diseases of wastewater. So that's pretty much what it is. There's a website down here where you can go to, you can get a lot more detail on all these different viruses they have mapped out. This doesn't cost the MUDs or the River Authority anything. They're paying us at this time to pull these samples and send it in. So all that money is going into its other funding, other revenue. So it's not earmarked for anything at the time, but it's pretty good information if you're interested in it.
So the River Authority's getting paid. Is it affecting, does it take a lot of time or, manpower or anything like that to take the samples?
No, we pull the samples when we pull our routine samples every day.
Yeah.
It's really for
The money for the TID.
Perfect.
So is this just COVID's the only one shown? Are the others undetectable or?
No, so you've got all this monitored illnesses, everything from COVID to RSV.
Right.
Yeah, if you go to the website, Bill, these.
Yeah, so it's each one. So this is just an example of what.
Yes, this is just an example. I believe this is the SARS-CoV. And so each one, there's different markers and different indicators. So the y-axis, each one is a little different depending on proteins and amino acids and whatever.
Okay,
But we're the only representative of Southeast Texas that's participating in it. So we're easy to find. All 3 facilities are sampling and sitting in samples.
Good.
I'll be happy to answer any questions you have.
Anybody? Questions for the River Authority? Thank you very much. Item 13, we have a status update for Bear Branch, Panther Branch, Research Forge drainage.
No update this month, sir.
Item 14, attorney's report. Katie, anything else for us
Nothing of a general nature.
until item 19 or
17.
there we go. Okay, item 15, general manager's report. Pete Peterson.
Pretty light. Good evening, afternoon. Just wanted to update you that I attended the Texas Water Conservation Association conference 2 weeks ago, and then last week I attended the AWWA Waterline Condition Assessment Training that was put on by AWWA in Dallas. So that was pretty informative. Dan from SGRA and David Smith, one of the trustees, was in attendance as well. So we learned all about waterline condition-based assessment
AC pipe.
from the authors of that California
Mesa.
study, the HDR engineers. So that was pretty good training.
Did it change your opinion on anything? Did it?
There was some insight that we gained, I think, that there's, I think one of the things that I learned was
We don't know anything.
there's not this surefire checklist. You just got to go down. We talked to them about our project and they kind of said, yeah, we would go in and kind of understand your facts and try to give you the best recommendation we could on how to attack it, but it's not a one size fits all. And there were folks in there from all over the country, Florida, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Minnesota, Nevada, California, and then a few towns in Texas. And a lot of them this wasn't an AC deal. This was waterline in general. So there was a lot that, especially up north, that deal with ductile and cast iron pipe, stuff like that. But so there's some of the stuff didn't exactly resonate with us, but yeah, I mean, it was helpful.
Did you bring back any documents you could share?
Well, yes, of course, the whole thing was basically a professor-led instructional on M77, which y'all have, or it's on the deal.
Yeah.
They kind of built this PowerPoint presentation that I have a copy of. I can probably sell
Post
it.
that.
We could post that, sure, no
Okay.
big deal. So yeah, we'll do that. That'd be good. So anyway, that was helpful. Wanted to update you on, we talked earlier, a couple months ago, about having a reception for Jim for his retirement. It looks like we're honing in and have landed on a date, December 14th. That's a Thursday, coming up in about a month or so. So we're trying to make arrangements for that. There'll be an announcement that gets sent out for that, but that's what we're shooting for. Wanted to point out we had two staff anniversaries. One was Jeannie, 27 years,
Oh,
and Wayne for 10 years. So that was exciting.
awesome.
And last thing I had was to kick it over to John for the communication report.
Afternoon.
Howdy.
Page 49 in your packet is the communications report. So we're at the last couple weeks of our 12-month strategic plan. Our focus is on the value of water. But we have a particularly wide variety of topics we're messaging on right now, just given the time of year and the things coming down. So I want to make sure that you're aware of those major ones, should you get questions. So that first section there, current upcoming communication topics. We have been and we will continue to do more seeding of messaging on infrastructure renewal. We're not getting into specifics, of course. Just making sure folks are aware that components of our system are nearing useful life. We have a lot going out on billing related matters right now. The current back of the bill ad is the first notification on rate adjustments effective Jan 1. We're following that up with social media and email as well. And you'll see a new bill back next month, right? A couple weeks for November's bill. That will show the old rates or the 2023 rates and the 2024 rates side by side. You should have seen some emails and social media on the groundwater presentation by USGS and also on our annual community survey. So that survey was done last year. We're doing another round of it to see how we've done, so what kind of job we've done. That gave us some real insight into opinions on Woodlands water and the muds and knowledge level. And what we found last year was that opinions were high, very favorable, knowledge levels were low. And so that guided a lot of what we've done last year. So we're anxious to see how well we did at improving those knowledge levels. So I'll have results on that for you next time we meet. And then some seasonal topics as well, standard for this time of year. We've made an amendment to our website. We have a news section now. That's just a better place to point to for timely pieces. So that's a current news, and then there's an archive section, and that will house service alerts as well. And then the next couple pages are just examples of our current materials. Questions?
Good job. Anything?
No, I was gonna say, I think, I like sending, when you put out stuff about conservation and things, but also the fact that rebates are given for native plants and water barrels, things like that. But I enjoy sending them to people I know don't live in the woodland and ask them if their mud does this. And if not, you need to talk to them. I never get any answers, but it is, I think that works well. It's a good deal for the city.
We run into folks a lot, especially at events that say, "Oh, I'm not a Woodlands water customer. My mud did this." We always encourage them to use our materials or put them in touch with us, and we have to talk about what we do.
That's a good program.
I would think it's probably about time for another message in one of your emails saying, if you still have your automatic sprinkler system on, you need to turn it off, because I'm still
Yeah,
seeing
that's a good
people,
point.
water running down the streets, sprinklers in the rain. It's just ridiculous, and everybody's yards are going dormant now, so.
Yeah, that's a good point, especially in the winter time.
Yeah.
And
They find
they
the message and
probably shouldn't turn them on till April at least, so.
And it's unhealthy for your lawn too.
Mhm. Cool, thank you.
Good point.
All right, item 16, trustees report. These guys covered most everything. Another thing that was brought up at the meeting was the Public Education Committee met again. And I had to give these guys credit for really reaching out and trying to get the messaging to actually put it together with a broader group. And so they're trying to integrate our message about water along with stuff that the SGRA has to say, and Howard Hughes Company and the Woodlands Township. And so ultimately, if we can get everybody on the same page about water and infrastructure replacement and everything else, I think everybody wins. And so I'm pleased to see that in fact, they even brought 2 new members onto the committee. One is Leanne Peterson, who is the communications director at the Woodlands Township. I think that's a win if she's part of our team, and Arthur Bredehoff, who is a MUD director and also represents Region H, which is a bigger area, kind of a higher level, longer term planning district in our area. Also, they're asking for photos that can be used with part of our 50th anniversary. Is that 50th anniversary of the Woodlands or the WWA?
Woodlands.
So yeah, if you had, Don, maybe if you had any photos from your days back at the SGRA, or, if you guys had pictures of Lake Conroe when it was dry, empty.
That's 50 years old too, isn't it? The lake, a little over 50 years. Yeah.
Yeah. I think today, this is its 50th anniversary.
Is it for the lake too? How about that?
And then if the Woodlands started in 50 years ago and the Grogan's Mill, where was that wastewater treated?
That one.
That's it, out there on sawdust.
I mean, it's 50 years old
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if they had an interim plan or something, but all 50.
Big old
Yeah,
septic tank.
that part's been probably dismantled and
And
replaced.
redone.
Yeah.
And you were here then
No,
with this,
it wasn't too far away.
not long after, right?
That was a lot of that was EPA funded.
That's right. Yeah, EPA funded.
Okay, that takes us through item 16, and so now we need to go into closed session. Put down the cone of silence. Excuse everybody who's not part of the
Board, myself.